All right, everyone, welcome back to another deep dive. You know we love to go deep, and today we're going deep on something kind of fascinating.
Okay.
Presidential campaigns,
Mm-hmm.
but not the normal stuff.
Right.
Not the policy,
Yeah.
not even necessarily the strategy, although that comes up. We're
Wow.
talking about nicknames today.
Nicknames.
Those little
Right.
labels that can
Okay.
really stick with you.
Okay.
So we found some really juicy reporting in The Atlantic
Okay.
that we are diving deep on today.
I'm ready.
So apparently, Donald Trump had a very specific nickname
Oh.
that he really wanted to use for President Biden.
Okay.
And this is one of those things they don't really tell you about in the history books.
Right. Right.
But apparently this is how it goes down sometimes behind the scenes.
Interesting.
So the nickname,
Yeah.
which I'm not going to repeat here,
Sure.
is deeply offensive.
Yeah.
And it's considered a slur against people with disabilities.
You know, it's really interesting because it's almost like there's sort of two things going on here at the same time.
Right.
When you think about these kinds of nicknames,
Yeah.
on the one hand, it's like they're trying to be dismissive.
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to kind of make the other person seem less than.
Undermine them.
Right, exactly. But there's also this kind of strategic element to it.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to tap into something
Yeah.
in the minds of the voters.
Oh, absolutely.
Certain biases, certain preconceptions.
Oh, yeah.
And they're using this nickname as a shortcut
Yeah.
to kind of activate those things.
It's so interesting because they're playing this game
Right?
with the electorate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're trying to manipulate perceptions
Oh, yeah,
with these words.
absolutely.
And this one in particular, I mean, this crosses a line.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
It's not just about, being clever or funny.
Oh, yeah.
This is getting into dangerous territory.
You're totally.
This is the kind of language that can really hurt people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not like this was just a one-off.
Right.
According to The Atlantic,
Yeah.
his own staff actually tried to talk him out of using it publicly.
Oh, wow.
They were really worried about alienating moderate voters,
Makes sense.
which is fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Because there's this tension
Right.
between what he wants to do
Yeah.
and what his advisors are telling him he should do
Right.
to actually win.
It's like you said, this behind the scenes stuff that
Yeah.
you don't always get to see.
Right.
Like how these decisions are actually made and how much push and pull there is.
Oh, totally. And,
Yeah.
this actually reminds me of something else I read a while back.
Okay.
It was in Vanity Fair,
Mhm.
and they were reporting on some similar allegations about Trump using offensive language.
Really?
This time it was back in 2020,
Okay.
and he was apparently calling Biden a mental retard
Oh.
over, polling numbers.
Oh, God.
And then there were these claims that he made similar comments about Kamala Harris, too.
It's like a pattern almost.
Yeah, it's like he can't help himself.
Right.
It's just coming out.
And as the election gets closer,
Yes. It just gets worse.
it seems to escalate.
Right. It's like he turns up the volume.
Exactly.
The thing is, we see this same kind of escalation
Yeah.
in other parts of his rhetoric, too.
Absolutely.
Like The Atlantic talks about this rally at Madison Square Garden
Mm-hmm.
where he actually called it a hate rally.
Wow.
And then there's this whole thing about him fantasizing about Liz Cheney
Oh, my God.
being shot.
That's really disturbing.
I know. And then there was this incident in Milwaukee
Mm-hmm.
where he simulated a sexual act on a microphone.
Oh, gosh.
It's like, what is going on here?
It's really hard to understand.
All right, now.
Like, what's the strategy behind all this?
Right.
On the one hand, you could say it's about energizing his base,
Okay.
appealing to those voters
Uh-huh.
who really respond to that kind of aggressive,
Right.
no-holds-barred style. But on the other hand,
Yeah.
I mean, this kind of rhetoric has consequences.
Oh, absolutely.
It can incite violence. It can deepen divisions.
Yeah.
It can undermine democratic norms. I mean, it makes it really hard to have a reasoned debate
Yeah.
about important issues when this is the kind of language.
It's so toxic.
Right.
It just poisons the whole conversation.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, what are we supposed to make of all this?
I think the big takeaway here is that words have power,
Yeah.
and how we use them really matters.
Especially in a political climate like this.
Exactly.
It's so polarized.
We have to ask ourselves, what responsibility do political leaders have to use language responsibly?
And what can we do as citizens to hold them accountable?
That's the big question.
It is a big question. And you know what? This has been a fascinating deep dive. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely thinking about this in a whole new way.
Me-
I'm so curious to know what you guys think. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thoughts. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next deep dive.